2 Samuel chapter 22 verse 29 says, "You are my lamp, O Lord. The Lord turns my darkness into light." One very quiet morning, Jesus appeared to me, enshrouded in great waves of love and peace. The long-dreaded day to revisit hell was here. His gentle voice reminded me of his previous instructions. "Remember," he explained, "whenever I take you to this place of utter darkness and despair, keep your attention on me. Don't try to observe what is going on unless you look through me to see what I have to show you." My Lord continued to instruct me, "You are being brought here by the wings of my Spirit, so when you return to my people, you can warn them of the things that I show you." My friend, I know that it is very difficult for you to come to this place with me, but it is necessary for the well-being of my children. They need to be warned and told of the horrors of this place. "Come walk with me into the darkness," he beckoned, while embracing me with his strong but gentle arm. "I will be your light, so don't be afraid. Stay close to me, and nothing will be able to touch you." Suddenly the darkness enveloped us like a black, thick cloud. Through this oppressive darkness I caught a glimpse of large flying insects. These bugs were like nothing I had ever seen before here or on the earth, though they did seem to resemble the black spiders I had come upon in another chamber of hell. Looking at these flying creatures through Jesus, they became clearer and less frightening. Embraced by his strong, loving arm, an overwhelming sadness filled me, because the closer I drew near to Jesus, the more I felt his grief. "These insects are ambassadors of death and doom," he said very sadly. "Though you can see them clearly here in hell, on the earth they fly about invisible and undetected." While observing these miniature vultures, I thought of the beautiful butterflies and dragonflies that had so delighted me on the earth. God's creatures reflected his beauty, but Satan's creatures reflected his evil character. They were not colorful or beautiful in any way, but were dark, ugly colors and had treacherous, venomous features, discolored and decaying fangs protruding from their mouths. Their eyes darted about madly in a wild frenzy. Everything about their movements appeared erratic and out of control. As they flew maliciously about me, I quickly tucked in very close to Jesus. Seeing these ferocious flying demons made me think that being in the darkness was better than being able to see them through the light emanating from Jesus. Warning me, he said, "Child, many people feel like you do. They think that what they don't see or know won't hurt them. Like an ostrich hiding its head, so many of my children remain in the darkness rather than coming to me to receive the light of my truth. Being in the darkness does not cause evil to disappear. Seeing the truth arms you with wisdom to avoid the danger that lurks in the darkness. Hide in me, not from evil. When you hide in me, and I am truly your hiding place, then no fear will be found in you. When you hide from evil and remain in the darkness, fear will capture your heart. This is not the way of peace and safety. Don't desire the darkness of deception, but come into the light of my presence. Trust me to show you all you must observe for your benefit and for the good of others." Jesus' compassionate instruction led me to understand that I was beginning to think in a way that would be a danger to me. Hiding in the darkness from these demon insects was not going to make them go away. Staying hidden in the light of Jesus was going to give me the peace and wisdom I needed to deal with them. Confirming my thoughts, the Lord explained, "They cannot touch you as long as you keep out of the darkness and stay in the light of my presence. The thought you had to hide in the darkness so you wouldn't have to see them was a trick they were trying to use to coax you away from me. These demons are schemers. They use darkness and deception to trap their victims." Listening intently to my friend and companion, my peace was restored, and I was able to look more closely at what was going on in this ominously dismal place. These flying creatures had sharp claws that descended from underneath them. Unlike the smaller insects on the earth that sting their victims with small stingers. These dark, ugly insects use their claws to inject their victims with doom and eventual death. They were capable of landing on the bodies of people and piercing them with their hook-like claws. Once they got their claws into a person, there appeared to be no way of escape for their victim. Their function was to inject, through these menacing claws, depression, hopelessness, and despair, all rooted in gross deception. They were masters of trickery, eyes darting feverishly about them, armed with the information they needed to exaggerate, manipulate, and deceive their victims. Masterful lies were being injected into all they landed on. Of all the vast number of demonic creatures in hell that I had seen, this was the largest group. There were not very many of them flying in hell because most of them were busy on the earth, destroying lives by injecting people with the venom of lies. Those demon insects that were here with us in hell were returning to observe and enjoy their quote-unquote victories. Souls who had been killed as a result of their lies were being wildly celebrated as they fell into the pit prepared for them. I heard their jubilant, vicious laughter and squeals of demonic delight as victims of suicide arrived in this place called doom. Instead of turning to Jesus for help, many were tricked into rejecting Jesus and overdosing with drugs and alcohol. Others were deluded into rejecting Jesus and taking their own lives violently. "I want to show you their wings, my friend," Jesus said. The wings of these terrible demons had short, sharp, black hairs emanating from underneath the entire wing. These hairs were sticky like flypaper. As we use flypaper to trap flying insects on the earth, these demons use their sticky wings to trap people. "No one is exempt from their traps," Jesus declared sadly. "Children are especially targeted by them. If they can get close enough to land upon their victim's head or shoulders, they immediately wrap their wings around their faces so that their eyes are blinded to the truth. All the time they ride upon their victims, they are injecting them with hatred birthed in the lies that have pierced them. Because their eyes are completely closed to the truth, hatred fills them for everyone, including themselves. These demons work in conjunction with others to destroy their victims. This group of demons is especially prideful and likes to take all the credit when someone succumbs to their treachery. When one of my children commits suicide or kills others in rejecting me, they count it as a personal victory." Taking a step forward, the Lord continued, "They leave the task of tormenting these souls after they are thrown into the fiery pit to other demons because they believe their task on the earth is too important to leave anyone else to do it. That is why you see them fly in and out of this place so quickly. But for a short visit to observe the final demise of their victim, they spend most of their time ravaging the earth with their venomous lies." As quickly as we had arrived to observe this place in hell that was filled with doom, we returned to a pleasant place in the spirit realm, where my trusted companion continued to help me more fully understand what my spiritual eyes had seen. "Lord," I asked, "how does anyone escape from these deadly, invisible demon insects and their lies?" "There is no way of escape except through me," he responded. "That is why I have told my children that I am the way, the truth, and the life. Just as I told you to stay close to me and not to hide in the darkness, that is the same message my people need to know to avoid these injectors of lies. I am the answer. It is easy to find me, for I will be found by all who seek after me. While you were in this place of darkness and doom, no insect came near you because I covered you. If I had not opened your eyes to see them, you would not have been aware of their presence. As my people walk in my midst, they will be sheltered and hidden. Never again will they be attacked by these creatures." After receiving this shocking revelation of these insidious insects from hell, I sat alone with the Lord and was deeply comforted by his loving presence. I remembered the terrible time years before I had allowed Jesus to be my King and Savior, when I walked in despair. It was clear to me now that I had fallen victim to one of those creatures. During that dark time in my life, I had grown to hate myself. Because of this self-hatred, I was convinced that my family would have been better off without me. Doom was opening its door to receive me. But for the wonderful grace of God, I would have succumbed to the trickery of the enemy. During this time of great suffering, Jesus appeared in my life, and he did change the darkness into light. He rescued me from all the lies I really believed about myself, healed me of the epilepsy that was fueling the overwhelming self-hatred, and turned all my sorrows into joy. As I walked with him and learned his ways, I grew to love and accept myself. Through the past 38 years since he healed me of epilepsy and set me free, the darkness of depression has been kept far from me by the light of his love and his truth. His word is true. He is the way, the truth, and the life. Without him, I would have no life, no truth, and no love. John chapter 14, verse 6 says, Jesus answered, I am the way, and the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me.